Good afternoon and welcome, my friends, to a special edition of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold for this Saturday, the 26th day of September in the year of our Lord 2020. From the National Review comes this one, folks. We need to start paying attention and praying. The media will not report things like this because it doesn't fit their agenda to help destroy this nation as it was founded as a Christian nation, and that whites as a race are not the complete trouble here in America. Not all of them, like the media and the left keeps trying to make us believe. We don't walk around killing 4-year-old boys because they're not like me. Hence today's special and the story. Rowan Sweeney was just 4 years old when he died in his mother's arms, and just like Canon Hinnant, there will be little to no coverage or even interest from the lamestream lying liberal media on this. Why? Because it doesn't fit the liberal narrative, period. That is why conservative nation media will always report on these things, because it is not reported in the LLLM, and it should be. Whites, as infrequently as they commit this type of murder of little black boys and girls, if you listen to the lying media, you would think it happens all the freaking time. Color does not matter is the way we should be thinking. Crimes against everyone and against our God in heaven need to be reported, and every time it happens. On September the 21st in Struthers, Ohio, a 4-year-old died in his mother's arms after suffering wounds from being shot by what witnesses described as a, quote, young, light-skinned black male, unquote. And that shooter was later identified as Kimoni Devont Bryant, 24, who allegedly entered into the home through an unlocked door around 2 a.m. and began screaming. Survivors of the shooting, and he shot everyone in the house, said that before they even had time to respond, Bryant began to fire at them. This monster who did this is facing one charge of aggravated murder with more charges to follow, according to Struthers Police Captain Daniel Mamula. He was supposed to be arraigned in court yesterday. Like in the case of 5-year-old Canon Hinnant and 17-year-old Veronica Baker, the MSN, or lamestream lying liberal media, as I call them, has largely ignored the story, with a few large publications covering it like the Daily Mail. And now to remove the liberal blindfold here, folks. If you're seeing a pattern on this kind of stuff, then you have been watching and see what is going on. I will spell this out explicitly in this update, folks. This child, Rowan Sweeney, did not have to die, but he died tragically in his mother's arms. 4 adults, Cassandra Mariscola, 20, Alexis Snyder, 22, the mother, Yarnell Green, 20, and Andre McCoy, also 20, were taken to St. Elizabeth Youngstown's Hospital. All 4 adult victims were friends, is what the police said. The 2 males are in critical condition, but the 2 women are okay. The suspects left prior to the police's arrival, and the police didn't stop processing the scene until 10 a.m. 8 hours after it happened, folks. But on this one, where the hell is the media? They are nowhere to be found, and the reason is very obvious. Would this story be ignored if it weren't for the fact that the shooter was black and the child was white? Would CNN ignore it? Would the New York Slimes ignore it? Would the Washington Post ignore it? You see, I called these out because none of them have reported on the case of this precious little boy's premature demise because he was white and the shooter was black. We all know the answer to this one. Had the shooter been white and the 4-year-old was a black kid, there would have been wall-to-wall coverage on this for weeks, if not longer. All saying the police are not doing enough because the shooter was still alive. Finally, on Tuesday, Kimoni Devont Bryant turned himself into the police department for his involvement in the shooting. Still nothing from the media. The Daily Mail, one of the few major publications that cover this incident, quote Chief Tim Roddy as saying the attack was targeted. Alexis Snyder, Rowan's mother, was also wounded in the mass shooting, and in the 911 call she can be heard screaming, "My son is dead." No mother, of any color should have to go through this, but in my opinion, no mother should have to see them. Media's sensationalize this or ignore this because of the color of the shooter or the color of the boy, period. This was perpetrated by a monster, and not because he was black and the boy was white, but because he, the shooter, felt it necessary to kill a boy who was just 4 years old, who now will never get a chance to find out just what kind of mark he could have made in this world, and the media doesn't think this is important because he was white. This is the travesty of this nation today. Thank you all for joining me in this special edition, and I wish to say please subscribe to my YouTube channel and my BitChute channel also, so that you will be informed as to when my next video comes out. And as a friend of mine used to always say, we will not be ruled, and we have to stop allowing this to be done, folks, because that is what the left wants, to rule us. This is Robert the Infidel, and I'll see you all again on Monday. And remember, NWCR is Removing the Liberal Blindfold is brought to you through Conservative Nation Media, where America always wins. Have a blessed weekend.